Yeah.
So go ahead and just say your name and then spell it out for me.
Aaron Weirich, Aaron Weirich.
Okay, and then go ahead and just tell me your relationship with Ashley, where you met, your relationship with the family.
I knew her since she was 3 years old. Met her through family. My dad knew their family. He was in a relationship with her grandmother. And
You were in a relationship with them?
no. My dad was in a relationship with her grandma. And then, so that's how I knew her. And I've known her since then.
And so, I guess describe to me your relationship with her.
The nature of our relationship. We were really close. We were really close from day one. I was her favorite person. Still am. And she was definitely my favorite person. And as she got older, she confided in me everything. I was her best friend, and we were just really close.
How old was she when you first met her, and how old were you?
She was 3, and I believe I was 17 or 18, something to that effect.
And then when the mother says that, I think the last time she saw her before she disappeared, she was with you. Is that correct? Or?
Yeah.
Where were you guys going?
Actually, we weren't going anywhere. I picked her up to see her. She was upset, and she was depressed because she wasn't being allowed to see me at that time, and she was getting more and more depressed every day. And I had been talking to her, and basically I was keeping her from getting too upset, too depressed, but she had a really low point. And so I went to go meet her and just talk to her, whatever, and because we hadn't really got to see each other in person, that often since, for like the last couple months. And so I went to go see her, and then whenever I was bringing her back, her mom was waiting there where I had picked her up from. So I'm guessing her mom knew that I picked her up, or I don't know how she knew exactly where to be. Maybe she knew, I don't know, maybe one of the neighbors knew something or something. My question is why she didn't call the police if she knew that, what was going on. But I mean, she waited for us there. I had stopped. I was going to let Ashley out of the car, even though I had seen that they were there. And then she ran up and smashed the windows out of the van.
The mom?
Yeah, and then whoever was driving the truck tried to ram into the front of the van, but I was able to swerve around them, go up on the sidewalk a little bit, and get past them. And if I wouldn't have moved, they probably would have hit our vehicle. And so Ashley got scared and said she didn't want to go home. So.
How do you see Ashley as a young sister, as a goddaughter, or something more?
We're close, and we love each other. I mean, I'm not gonna go into incriminating details at this time. We still have a trial to go to and everything, but it's really deep. I mean, we're really close.
Was it like love at first sight type of thing?
Kind of. It's weird. I never saw her as anything, actually up until recently, I always pictured her as a little 3-year-old, but she always had, from day one, she had just full control over me. I couldn't tell her no. I couldn't tell her no about anything. It didn't matter what it was. It could be my last dollar, it could be the shirt off my back, it could be my last drop of gas or my last drop of blood. It didn't matter. With her, it was just, I could never say no to her.
You said that you hadn't seen her in a while. Was that you guys were busy at school?
No. Me and her mother had gotten into a confrontation, and so she basically was using Ashley against me, which that would happen periodically. Me and her mom would get into a argument or something about something. Usually I didn't give her something she wanted, or I don't know, anything like that. And she would basically, well, I don't think you should be around my kids, that type of thing. But I was raising Ashley's cousins, along with her dad and everybody, but I was raising them, so it was kind of hard to just always keep us separated. So usually after a week or so, things would go back to normal. So this last time she had, her mom freaked out on her pretty bad and stuff, and Ashley actually left school and went to my dad's house. She called the police to have Ashley removed from my dad's house, and Ashley didn't want to leave. She didn't want to go back with her mom. But after that, I wasn't allowed to see her. I still saw her. I mean, I still talked to her and everything almost every day, but nobody could know about it. It was her mom couldn't know about it or whatever. But she, I don't know. She would get depressed if she went, too long without seeing me.
So,
And it was both ways. I mean, I'm not saying it was just it was hard for me too. I mean, to just not be around her, and I think that separation from us being away from each other for those periods of time causes us to, want to be around each other even more. So.
Do you remember the first time that you felt that way?
Which way?
That you loved her and that you wanted to see her and be more.
Well, that's the thing. I can't speak on that too much, but what I will say is that it wasn't a gradual transition. I saw her as like a niece, a daughter, something to that effect, and then, I don't know, we were always really close. We never kept secrets from each other. We never, lied to each other or anything like that. And I guess one day it just turned into that I was the most important person to her in her life, and she was the most important person to me in my life, and we just came to a realization of that. But as far as anything beyond that, I'm not going to speak on that right now. I mean, after the trial is over and everything, I mean, we could probably have a more in-depth conversation about that situation.
Does she have a father?
Yeah, she does.
And what was your relationship with the father?
We got along just fine. We never had really any problems or anything. We weren't close or anything. We weren't friends hanging out all the time or anything, but we never had any issues. And just her parents were separated, and they're so she didn't want to live with her mom anymore. She wanted so.
Can you say why she was depressed?
Yeah, a lot of it had to do with her mother and the way. From what I saw and from what she talked about, it was just that the main issue was that before anything allegedly was going on between us or anything like that, there was just constant accusations, from her mom to her, like, oh, why is Aaron so important to you? Why is this? Why? And it was always questions about me, and which I know a lot of people now are going to, in hindsight, they're going to be like, oh, well, she was right the whole time, but she wasn't. She wasn't right. In the beginning, it wasn't anything like that when she was making those kind of accusations, and basically, it's, she's a straight A student, doesn't miss school, doesn't drink, do drugs, doesn't do anything wrong, and she deserves all the trust in the world. She's earned it. And I mean, I can understand, if it was some stranger or whatever, that, oh, we can't trust this person or something, something like that. But I mean, now, am I looking at it now, like, do I deserve trust now? No, but there was at that period of time before, basically it was one of those things where you're going to keep accusing somebody of something until they do it, and on top of that, I mean, anytime she would try to be on her Facebook or anything like that, and a lot of parents are going to be like, oh, well, you should have your daughter's, Facebook password, and you should know what they're doing on there and doing this and that. But I mean, it was more than that. It was like the things that her mom did and allowed to happen when she was having her problems with drug issues and things like that with Ashley. It's like she wasn't sorry for it. She never tried to make up for any of the things that had happened, and Ashley resented her for that. I always try to tell her, have respect for your mom, and do this and that, and talk to your mom and tell your mom you love her and everything. But I'm one person. I can't force her, she listens to me. The reason why that she didn't fight with her mom as much as she would like to have is because I was always telling her not to. But I can't control her. And that's another thing that the issue that her mom had was that she felt like I had some kind of control over Ashley, that I had brainwashed her, which her exact words were that I had brainwashed her and turned her against her mom. The only person who turned Ashley against her mom was her mom. I was actually trying to help her mom and try to talk to Ashley and talk to her about having respect for her mom and stuff like that. But then again, it's like you can only talk so much about something like that, knowing that that the person you're talking to that you both know that you're only saying it because it's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah. And how old are you?
28.
28, and then she's how old?
She's going to be 14 on the 20th.
And so, what would you say to somebody who sees this relationship that you have and sees your age difference?
Well, everybody's going to have a different opinion about age differences and things like that. All I can say is that nothing that happened came from a place of malice. I didn't have any kind of sordid intentions or anything like that. There's maybe things that happened were unjustifiable by society's standards, obviously. Chains. But as far as I'm concerned, love is love. There's not a numerical value, to make it to say, well, this is right and this is wrong. The actions of an individual, yeah, you can say, okay, you're not supposed to do that. There's a law against this. You're not supposed to do this or that. So.
Did you ever think that you were doing something wrong?
Not that I was doing something wrong, but that there would be consequences for what I was doing. But did I ever feel like I was in the wrong, like, that I shouldn't be doing this or that? I never felt that way. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, why? That doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. It makes sense because, we love each other. And
can you define your love?
To a point. Yeah. It's not any weaker or anything today than it was 7 days ago, 8 days ago. If anything, I feel stronger, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. I'm not sitting here wondering if she still loves me or not, because I know that she does. I know I'm going to hear differently. People are going to try to tell me things or whatever, but as far as how everything turned out, I keep getting asked, do I regret, do you regret what you did and all this? I can't say that I regret it. Despite the fact that I'm sitting here for God knows how long, my charges are just horrific.
What do you think about all those charges?
Some of them, well, I'm gonna say they're all not true, but I am gonna say this, that yeah, I don't know, I can't really say too much about my charges, but there's one on there, the kidnapping. I honestly don't feel like I kidnapped her. I feel like she ran away and I helped her, or we ran away together, actually, you know. And
You live here in town, right?
yeah,
How far from Ashley's home do you live?
I don't know, just a few miles, not very far.
What side of town?
I live on the east side and she lives in North Oildale.
Oh, okay. Let's see. And then tell me a little bit about yourself. Did you work? Did you go to school?
Yeah, I went to college for a couple of years and majored in psychology, and I also I was working as a sandblaster up until recently. I broke my hand, and I had some other issues. You know, a family member, my grandmother passed away, and I was dealing with depression and things like that. And but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I've never committed a crime in my life. You know, prior to this, I didn't have a misdemeanor, I didn't have a felony, I didn't have a, you know, well, I had a traffic violation. I had a speeding ticket. Yeah, I was going 60 in a 55. So I guess the 5 miles over thing isn't true.
And then when you were having issues or whatever, Ashley was the person that you turned to and kind of
Yeah.
shared with.
Mm-hmm. She was actually.
She did the same thing.
Yeah, she was at my grandmother's funeral, and she's by my side the entire time. She was there when my grandmother passed away. She was there for me. She was by my side the whole time. You know, like I said, it was never a one-way thing. Never was. It was always a mutual love and respect for each other.
Tell me, why Ashley and not, say, somebody your own age?
That's the thing, is I wasn't going around looking for that. I was just living and doing my thing. It's not that the age doesn't have anything to do with it. I didn't feel more attracted to her because of her age. I wasn't looking for somebody her age or based on her age. That's probably the fault of the situation, is that it never even came into the equation of somebody that I was looking for or anything like that. It's that we had already been close. We were already close for quite some time. And so, I mean, I don't know, it just never came up.
And any time within your relationship and the time you were hanging out with Ashley, did you ever think, what if I get caught, or what if I get in trouble? What if I end up behind bars?
Yeah.
Did it scare you?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt like what she wanted and what I wanted and what we had and have, it's worth it, worth that risk. That's why I don't regret it now. I mean.
So now what? What happens now?
Sitting here, wait.
Do you have a lawyer and all that?
No. Nope. Don't have a lawyer. I haven't even talked to the public defender. So
you're gonna just sit here and kind of wait it out, right?
what else can I do? You know, I can't post a 1,700,000, however much bail. You know.
Yeah. What do you think about being labeled as like a sexual predator?
I'm not a sexual predator. I don't have any kind of. That's the thing about this, is I don't have any kind of feelings or anything like that towards children or anybody. I never thought about raping anybody or doing anything like that. You know, that's not. I mean, you can ask anybody, any of my family, anybody who's known me. That's never been a part of who I was or who I am. It's like I said, nothing that happened or allegedly happened or anything like that has anything to do with her age. It was her as a person. I mean, if you meet her, she's an amazing person. She's, you know.
Where did you see your relationship like years from now?
Years from now?
Did you ever think of marriage
or? Years from now? You know, probably shouldn't answer that. But yeah, you know, I mean, she had talked about it, I had talked about it, things like that, for the future, you know. But then again, you know, I always felt like whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. I'm not a get my hopes up kind of guy. I'm also not a be overly upset when things don't go my way kind of guy. You know, if I'm looking at 25 years or whatever in here, then I'm looking at 25 years. I mean, that's just how it is.
Is there anything else you want to say or add, or anything I didn't ask you that you want to share with me?
Say or add? No. I mean, I wish I could talk to her, and you know, of course I can't. At least not, probably not for the next 4 years, at least. But
what do you think about when you're in the jail cell?
what do I think about? Just her. I worry about her. You know, I hope that she's doing all right and that nobody's giving her a hard time. You know, I mean, because I know how her family is and I know how she is, but she has a stepmom who really loves her, and a lot of family, and her dad cares about her a lot. And
if she's watching this, what would you want to say to her?
Just pretty much stuff that she already knows, you know, that I love her and that I care about her, and that's never going to change. And I don't know what I'm getting out, but, you know, when I do, I'm here if she wants me. If not, that's fine. But just that I don't blame her for anything. I don't want her to feel like any of this is her fault. None of this. Me being in here is not her fault. You know, I know I don't want her to feel that way, because I know that she knows that I mean, I'll do anything that she tells me to do without question, you know, which is the problem, I guess. But I don't want her to feel like that makes it her fault. And knowing that, oh, if I tell him to do this, he's going to do it. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm the adult. And she's told me before too, like, you can't just do everything I tell you, you know, so sometimes you gotta do what you think is best, even if I'm not gonna like it. But I didn't do that this time, obviously. But you know, I don't know, and I want her to remember her dreams. Try to remember your dreams. And that it's not game over. You know.
By the way, how did law enforcement find you? Were you at your mom's house or something?
No. We were on Monterey. We were over, not the street, we were in Monterey County. And I had to go to the ATM, or I had to go to the bank to take out $600. And so but we both knew that as soon as I used my card that they were going to know exactly where we were. So, but I had to, you know, so.